reaching people, reaching your target audience with what you want to sell to them is currently easier 2025, 2026. Because just look at what all the platforms do. I don't follow anybody on any platform, on any social media, but every day Instagram sends me notification of people's posts through to my phone. I'm not following anybody. I know people who get notifications that I'm live, notifications that I posted a video or I posted content, and they are not subscribed. Just because they watched one time. So these platforms are hustling, are hawking your content. You know, that's what makes me believe that the quality is the problem, and of course the quantity. So every creator goes viral. Actually, everybody 100%. Even you that listen to me that has one subscriber and one view, you actually went viral. Or okay, let's say the potential to go viral is there with every creator. And what that means is it's not a human being that is taking your content to people. It's a robot that your content is training with the reaction of the people who are on the receiving end. So the more they watch, the more the robot fits them. Just again, the best way to look at it is when you go on YouTube, when you go on TikTok, when you go on IG, and you're scrolling through the For You page or whatever means you consume with that, you're swiping away. Sometimes you now stop and react, then you swipe away, then you stop and react. Every time you stopped, you just told the robot, I like this one. Without even liking. You didn't need to like or comment. Just stopping there to watch that for a couple of minutes while you'll be swiping away for the other ones. Just tells the robot, this is the type of content I like. So the next time you're offline, the guy has gone and prepared thousands of that type of video, mixed it up very interestingly for you, waiting for you. So by the time you come online again, you have already been prepared, content meal has been prepared for you, and then you continue consuming again. So from the creator end of things, when you make content, your content is also packaged like a meal for some people and kept on their For You page. But the robot also pays attention to the behaviors of people on the other end. So if the person watched it the first 2-3 times, it keeps bringing your video back to them. But if they watch the first 2-3 and then the third time they swiped away, fourth time they swiped away, just swiping away. Before I used to click and say I'm not interested to stop content from coming. Each time I say not interested, I actually engage the content, it comes more. But when I just ignore the content disappears by itself. So that's the way the robot just watches the psychology of the person, not what they say in the comments or whether they dislike the video. Dislike and clicking not interested and all that does not mean anything. All of it is engagement. But when you completely ignore the content, that's when the robot knows you don't want it anymore. And then it's not suggested to you. And the reason for all that behavior is not to help you. These platforms don't make content for themselves. YouTube has not created one video himself. They now buy content from creators anyways, every now and then. But the bulk of the content on YouTube, up to 98% of the content on YouTube, 99, close to 100%, is creators, people who randomly created accounts and start posting on the platform. And then people come there and watch those contents. So the creators, the platform depends on the creator to serve his customers. So it's like an Amazon. Amazon now sells products, but before now, Amazon is just a marketplace. The market is available there. It's the man that will now come and rent a shop, bring his goods, and then the customers will come there and now buy. So it's the same type of setup. YouTube just created a platform for the seller and the buyer to meet, and then money is now transacted at that level. So it is your content and my content and the other person's content that is hawked around to the consumers. And the platform hopes that you did a good job this time around, and he judges whether it's a good job or not based off of the reaction. That is whether or not they scrolled away. Of course, that's the reaction, not whether they liked or disliked. It doesn't matter, or commented. The robots can't tell what a bad comment from a good comment is. They can maybe make out the words when you use a racial slur. They've been trained to pick those words. So they have been programmed with certain words, and certain picture. But it's just a robot again. Is reacting to people's reaction. So every time you post, Mr. Uchechukwu or Mr. Daniel or Mr. Tariq, wherever he is, he show your video. So if you post consistently enough, frequently enough, Mr. Tariq thinks that you're viral because he's seeing you every time. You see how you're viral. The only challenge is that we've seen people have 10 million views, 10 billion views. So that it looks like if you don't get views, you're not making content. But I saw something today that made sense to me. And what it was, I think it was Alex Omuzi that was breaking down the fact that the more views you get, the less you sell if you have something to sell. And the fewer views you get, the more you sell. And what he was trying to point out there is if you're getting few views and you're creating content enough with good enough quality, what it means is those people that are actually watching that video, those people actually, I'll borrow the word, fuck with you, those people. And these are the people that you show something they'll call buy, they'll pay money to you now. They keep coming back. Those 12 people, those 30 people, each time, and they're even reacting, they're commenting, they're liking the same people. That person will spend money with you. That's your buyer right there. But when you're entertaining, very entertaining and all that, and you pull in a lot of views, sometimes these are people who may or may not spend money with you. So there's a probability with that one. Of course, the more people who come around, the more the chances of selling. But when you have a consistent number of viewers, that's something you can call like something like a cult-like following. That's a group of people you can give an instruction and they follow it. You're already an influencer. If somebody's interested in giving you something to sell to them. Otherwise, the product you're carrying, you can sell at that point. And it's all thanks to the competition amongst the platforms. YouTube is competing with TikTok, is competing with Instagram, is competing with, you know. So they are using your content to compete with each other. That's what you want. You want to play in that type of field where YouTube is interested in selling your content because he wants your buyer, the person that's buying from you, to not go to another platform. Do you know what that means? Before, when you post a video, you're going to have to promote it by yourself. These days, you don't need to. I say there are people who have not subscribed to me that get notification. They currently have a notification on their phone telling them I'm live, and they are not subscribed, and they are very upset. They don't even want to get the notification, but they get it regardless. The platforms are doing very well. It's now the quality of what we're doing, the camera quality, the sound quality, the content quality itself, and then what is even senior to all of these things I mentioned is the quantity, the volume, the volume. I used to say when a person comes to your page and doom scrolls, how many minutes before they exhaust what's on your page? The amount of content that is out there right now is so much that for the people that you want to know that you're around, you need volume. Of course, not at the expense of quality. I listened to an debate one time when he mentioned that a boxing coach once told him his punches were slow, and he already understood that what the man meant was with the quality intact, increase the speed. So when you're told that your punches are slow, you don't mean start throwing things that don't have any weight because you want to go fast. What it means is what you're doing already in terms of quality is good. Just increase the quantity of the quality. You know, I like to think about it like an ocean, and somebody's at the other end of the ocean, and I'm on this end. How much salt do I pour into the ocean before the person on the other end will taste it? Will taste the ocean. That's a freshwater ocean. How much salt do I pour into the ocean for somebody on the other end to taste the salt? That's what the content space is like. If somebody tries to scroll to the end of TikTok, that would be impossible. That's how much content is available every day. I think they say it's about 10 billion videos posted every day on YouTube daily. You know, and then after a while, all those 10 billion or 10 billion, 10 billion, you find out that it's a whole backlog of a lot of, so you need to pour in a lot for your own people to discover that you're there. The AI is already taking you to them every day. You want to train him as fast as possible so that you can get what you want as soon as possible. And the way to do it is volume. So if you do one video a day, that's 300 videos in a year. If you do two videos a day, that's 600 in a year. If you do 1,000 videos a day, that's whatever the number is in a year. But the more, the better. The more, the better. It makes things happen faster because there's much more noise out there right now. So you want to train the robot as quickly and as with enough material as possible. You want to find your customers as quickly as possible. That's why you need the volume. That's why we need the volume. So it doesn't matter what one person said, one person subscribe, one person unsubscribe. It doesn't matter. We're looking for is the customer, the person that will buy from you. That's the person you're searching for, and that person is like a tribe thing. It's like a community thing. There are certain people you meet them once, you just know this person, my friend. This person is for me. Whether it's a preacher, whether it's a particular type of movie, whether it's a type, an art form, whether it's a book. The moment you just pick up the book, this one I'll finish this book. You just know. You know that is how your customers also. The moment they find you, they just know. You don't even need to do too much. They are waiting to give you money immediately. You say you're selling something. But the robot has to find them first, and he does that job every day. But if you don't give him enough material, if you're giving him one video a day, one video a week to work with, that's how slowly he will work. And of course, ultimately find your audience. But it will take much longer time. So it's good for us to also pay attention to what we're doing and why we came. We're all here to make money. YouTube is set up to make money. The creators came here to make money. The consumers themselves also, you know, they show up there, they have money in their pockets. So you want to be able to reach out to the ones who are meant for you. So don't get distracted with trying to have 10 billion views. And then the 10 billion of those views, the money goes to who does it go to? It goes to YouTube. Because somebody will bring his advert and put in front of the video now for those 10 billion people to see. And then YouTube will take the money and give you a percentage of it. YouTube says they give you 45%, 55%. That's what they said. But did you see the amount that was paid? Were you there when they were paid? YouTube tries as much as possible, as much as they can, to be transparent. But how transparent are they? The money they collected from that advertiser that put their advert on your video, were you there when the wire was done? Do you know how much it is? You know how it was split up to know you got 5%. You see? But if in your video you're giving so much value and then you're selling whatever you're selling, of course, the people who also want to advertise in front of you will also come and advertise. But meanwhile, in the video itself, you're doing business already. You're building a community of people already. So it's important for you to be real, not even the realness and what's the word? How do they say it? Be yourself. The be yourself thing is so that you can make 1,000 of those videos. When you put on, when you're acting, that's when you now need to make a video a week. So you need a lot of rest from pretending. It's more exhausting when you're pretending to be something you're not. But if you're yourself every day, I mean, when you wake up in the morning, you're yourself. Except you're putting up for somebody somewhere. But every time you're out of that person's presence, you're back to yourself. It's not exhausting to be yourself. It's actually refreshing to be yourself. So if you're going to give the AI enough material to find your customers with, then you want to do it being yourself so that you can do plenty of it. That's the purpose of the message about being yourself. That's the point, the entire point of the thing. So maintain your own quality, your own taste, your own as undiluted, as honest to you as possible while you create. So that your tribe will find you. And once your tribe finds you, that's the end of the story. There's nothing anybody can tell them. You drop the product, they'll collect it. There are people you buy, you spend money with now. As a consumer, there are people once they say do something, you do it. There are certain persons like that. You do that with on the internet. Sometimes you haven't met them before. But each time they say this product is good, you go and pay money and collect. Sometimes it's a musician, you're paying money. You're buying tickets for their show. Sometimes it's and then you do. Sometimes it's what's it called, an album you're buying. Sometimes it's a subscription you're paying for because of a certain person. You see, so the same way, there are people, and you don't need to be like, and you just need to be like yourself. Those people will find you. If you put on what you're putting on, the people who like that thing you're trying to look like will also come for you. The problem is, anytime you get tired of being that person, you lose all those people, and you start from beginning. So the earlier you become yourself, you know, the more efficiently you can work, and the more, because you would be able to do more material and not get tired or burn out. That's where burnout comes from. Burnout comes from acting, from putting up, from in quotes pretending. That's where it comes from. So you talk. How many words do you say in a day? That's somebody said they post 1,000 videos a day, 100 videos a day, 50 videos a day, 20 videos a day. And it looks like it's a big ask. But do you know how many words you say in a day? How many conversations you start and finish in a day? It's a couple of hundreds. So what's the difference? The difference is that when you're creating, you want to put up a persona. And you can't do that in 20 times. That's why it looks like it's difficult to post 20 videos a day. Because of the persona you put on each time you come online. You know, and that persona thing will not be enough to make your customers notice that you're around. There are people also who are something close to who you are that create like you, and they are patronizing them for now while they're waiting for you to show up. And you're there, but what you're putting in the space is not enough for them to notice that you're there. The AI has not found them yet. Notice now, when you drop a video, it's 2, 3 days, and the video has started moving. It starts moving slower, more slower. And that's how it is. So you need to feed this AI every day. It needs to move every day until it finds your crowd. Once you find your crowd, you can say you're made. So small creators, everybody, it's not just about small. Whether you're a small creator or a big creator, there are no big creators that have now stalled. They had this rapid growth spot, and then they've hit something like a plateau, and they've been there for a very long time. And the reason for that is, again, it's authenticity, originality. The space has changed so much. People's behaviors have changed so much, but sometimes they keep doing what they were doing in the past. So I'm telling you, big creator, this is where we are now. We are with authentic right now. If you keep putting up, you'll not go further than what you are already. This page is saturated. So you want to be as original as possible so that you can give the material undiluted and as plenty as is needed for the amount of material in the space every day. You want to send a letter in the archaic way of throwing it in the ocean in a bottle. I want somebody on the other end to find it. How many of those bottles do you need to throw in the ocean? Somebody's in Africa, the African end of the ocean, and they want somebody who is in Europe, or somebody who is in, let's say, in Asia. It's an ocean, and they are on the Asia end of it, and they want to drop letter in a bottle in the ocean and hope that he finds somebody that's in Europe. How many of those bottles do they throw in the ocean for them to stand the chance for those letters to meet one? You see what I'm saying? You want to put as many bottles with the letter as possible to increase your chances of reaching the person you want to reach on the other side. So that's how to think about it. The space is like an ocean right now because of the amount of material available every day, amount of videos published every day. So nobody will take you seriously until you have volume, but not at the expense of quality anyway. Otherwise, your own tribe will scroll out. There are people who like to see. People have eye problems. My videos are not so shot in good quality because of my lighting. A lot of things I need to do to improve what I'm doing. People have eye problems; they can't see clearly. So somebody who is your customer just scroll and pass, and they are looking for that product too. But because the quality is not what it is, just scroll away. And the reason is because just under that video is another one that will serve them almost the same purpose, and it's shot in clearer light. So you want to make your videos as clear as possible, the volume, the audio, as much as you can. But don't lose concentration. We're here to do business. We're here to sell our products. We're here to sell our service. Don't lose concentration. Start chasing views, empty views. Chase customers. And you know how to. I just broke it down.